machine that executes at the highest level.
That's where we pump sell billions of dollars of real estate.
The chasing business, now all of a sudden I was attracting it.
You're gonna get a lot of no's before you get that first yes.
You're not doing it consistently.
They're everywhere all the time. People will take you. You have to outproduce your problems.
It has everything to do with the mindset and the discipline.
Don't try to be making a withdrawal before you've made a deposit.
Focusing on the quality, not the quantity.
Continue to move forward and grow.
What is up, Every Agent Wins fam? Today we have another fantastic show for you. We have Mr. Tom Tezak out of Maui, Hawaii. He is the owner and the leader of Lifestyle Maui Team. This guy is so innovative. He has really created a bunch of different groups now to help resort and second home agents. Now, when I say that, that's like places like the Mauis or the destination places. And he also teaches a lot of regular everyday agents that are not in these markets how to talk to their clients to create more referral business, just simply by asking, are you looking to buy or sell a house in a second or resort home location? He also gives a breakdown on how to break into the luxury market. He does some really, really high-end things, 15, 20 millions in Maui. And also he has to really he teaches us how to talk to some of these people that are high net worth. It's not always about the money. It's more usually about time or convenience. And sometimes you just have to get out of your own way. You're talking about money and they don't care about money. They have the money, they have the assets. So it's really sometimes about just saving them time. So make sure you check out this episode and we'll be back right after the message from our sponsor.
So you're a new agent. You don't know where to start. You've done typical agent things like cold calling.
Have you ever thought of selling your home? Hello? Tom?
Hi, looking to sell your home?
And doing open houses. You're not making any progress. So you download the Bellwood Agent and you follow directions provided. You find a seller. Bellwood likes the house. Within a few days, you get an accepted contract. You show the house. Bellwood buys the house. You get paid. You relist the property once flipped. You sell the property. You get paid again. You did this with no knowledge or experience. Rinse and repeat.
Hey, Tom. Still looking to sell your home? Bellwood's buying.
What's up? What is going on, everybody? This is Ronnie, and this is the Every Agent Wins show, where we are bringing value to the real estate agent and bringing real estate agents all over the world in here to bring value to you, for you to grow your business. Today, we have Tom Tezak out of Maui. How are you doing, my friend?
Aloha, Ronnie. I am doing amazing.
Oh man, you look like you got a good tan. You got everything going on, man. You're just chilling, man. I love it, man.
That's it. I love it, man. Maui is a great place to be. So I'm loving life.
What's the weather like right there?
It's pretty crappy. It's like 82 degrees and sunny.
Yeah. Tough life, man. I feel bad for
every
you.
day, by the way.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people do.
Walking around in flip flops and a nice tan. So cool, man. I like it. So
that's my daily shoes. There you go.
That's the work shoe, man. So you do all your showings.
That's the work shoe. Showings. I wear we don't call them flip flops here. So if you come here and call them flip flops, immediately you're tossed out. No, you're a tourist. They're slippers, and I wear a Aloha shirt like this and shorts and slippers. That's my daily grind.
I'm changing my attire now, man. That's great. That's great. So yeah, man, tell me a little bit about you. I know you weren't originally from Maui. You came here 20 some odd years ago, and you're living your best life. So tell me a little bit about where you're at and your real estate business and everything that belongs to you.
You bet. A little backstory. So I moved from Joliet, Illinois when I was 40 years old with my wife and two daughters, a 6-year-old and a 3-month-old with no job. I was a realtor in Illinois, in Joliet, for 10 years and was killing it. And just one day decided I didn't want to be there anymore. I had several careers while I was in Joliet. I had a retail store, an Army surplus store that gave me some great customer service skills. I was a deputy coroner for 7 years, which gave me an amazing ability to communicate, and raised in a funeral home. So again, saw the world from a little bit of a different perspective, and then was a realtor for 10 years and finally said, I want to be in Maui. I don't want to be in Joliet. We had been traveling and vacationing here. And it took us about 18 months to sell my business or to sell my company and then sell my book. And got here and struggled for several months because it's a different world. Resort real estate is definitely a different world than traditional real estate. But then it took off, and I now own a company with a business partner here in Wailea, and life is pretty amazing.
Living your best life, man. I love it. That's awesome. So what I wanted to dive into, and thank you for sharing, by the way, is there's a lot of, from what you and I talking, there's a lot of people that miss out realtor-wise on business, referral business to someone like yourself in a resort market. Maybe let's talk about how somebody could get 2, 3, 4 more referrals a year and put money in their pocket using your strategy.
Oh, it is so true, Ronnie. We were chatting, and a few years back, I was doing my numbers, working on my yearly numbers, and I realized something that was really amazing to me. I did about $28 million worth of sales to resort and second home buyers and sellers. And when I looked through that list, what was striking to me was that only one of the deals was a referral from another agent somewhere else in the country. And as I looked through that list, every one of those clients already owned one or multiple properties somewhere else in their hometown, in wherever they lived, which tells me that they all should, in fact, have realtors. And not only one of their realtors engaged with them enough to ask, are you thinking about buying or selling a second home? And it was disappointing to me. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was great for me to keep all the money, but my world is all about abundance and sharing. And I started this campaign to try to educate agents in traditional markets where people live, go to work, get married, have babies, die, get divorced, that place, not a resort market, and trying to help them to understand, hey, are you asking your database, have you been thinking about buying or selling a second home? Because it's not their job to tell you. They don't. I've had several agents come to me and say, "Oh my God, you're speaking. You're killing me," because I just had a client come back from their vacation and tell me how they were so excited that they just bought a second home.
Well, they don't know that you can help them, right? And that's right. And you are now that gap that is educating on that, and I think that's amazing.
Right, and that is. And so in the last 4 years, being the preacher of the word like that, and telling people and encouraging people, what has happened is now I went from one inbound referral, closed referral, to this past year I had 24 inbound opportunities. Now, in resort and second home markets, opportunities sometimes take a week, a year, 5 years, and very often they don't come together. But I had 24 agents reach out to me, pass clients on to me. I have 5 transactions that recorded for over $100,000 in GCI. That's a pretty substantial pillar in anybody's business. And, it's amazing that there are certain markets that feed me. Like right now, Denver, Colorado, I don't know what they're doing, but I've engaged now in the last week with 5 clients. Either they were with somebody else or looking at my properties or reaching out to me that were from Denver. And so they're going places, and we're a small segment. A lot of those, a lot of people that are in these, a lot of agents in traditional markets start asking the question, hey, do you have a second home? Hey, have you been thinking about it? Do you want to be where you want to be? Because there's so much opportunity. And based on that, I created a network of resort and second home agents on Facebook. I've got a website, secondhomeagents.com, trying to bring that network together so that we can all speak the word and then also get a group of agents together that are great referral sources and options for the agents out there.
And what is that Facebook group if we are having some second home agents and referral markets?
The Facebook group is Resort and Second Home Agents. You just have to sign up. You have to be a realtor. You have to apply. You have to answer some questions. I really try to keep it so that it's really just realtors. I don't want, loan officers, and I don't want people barraging us with crap in that group. So it's a very well moderated group. But yeah, they can go there. There's also, I do a podcast, Selling the Dream, which is another opportunity where I interview resort second home agents and industry rock stars from all over the world. And then my website, which we're just building out right now, is secondhomeagents.com. And that's going to be able to create a value play for agents to sign up, identify their district, put information about it. The resort district, that is.
That's awesome, dude. That you're creating a nice network for people that maybe don't have that outlet. So congratulations for bridging the gap. I like it. So I know you do a ton of like luxury stuff. You do some other stuff. I think everything now in Maui is at luxury price where it would be somewhere else. But I know you've tapped into the luxury market. And what's some advice that you would give somebody that is really looking to make that one of their big pillars in their business?
Wow. Well, it's again, I came from the blue collar USA. I was selling, just everybody. When I worked in Joliet, it was, they were all hardworking people that were working, doing everything they could to make a living. When I got here, there's this unique market. There's a lot of those people that are just blue collar, hard workers, entrepreneurs, but then there's this luxury market where we're talking, today, 10, 15, $20 million properties. And a lot of agents say, I want to sell luxury real estate, but they don't know how to talk to the clients because the clients are used to a different level of service first. They're different. They're used to a different level of client experience. But the first thing that I learned was about 19 years ago when I was new to the business in Maui. I had an agent or a gentleman come in and I was explaining to him there was a golf community and an association you can belong to. And I was telling him how many times you had to golf for you to break even to rationalize the $2,700 membership to the golf club. Because I saw everything in a very black and white, dollars and cents. I'm going to spend this much, I'm going to get this much, and this is where I break even because it's about money, because I work really hard for my money. And the guy literally puts his hand up in my face. It was like, talk to the hand, brother. He goes, Tom, stop. And I'm so animated. I keep spewing. He goes, Tom, stop. You don't get it. And I keep going. He goes, Tom, you don't get it. Where I come from, which is Colorado, he goes, I belong to 2 country clubs and it cost me about $65,000 a year to belong to each one of them. And you just have to know, when I want to golf, I just don't want to have to wait. It's not about the money. And I still didn't hear him. And it was 2 days later when it was that nirvana moment, that light bulb went off. It was like, holy crap, I get it now. I need to talk to these clients, these ultra net worth, high lux people from a perspective where they're at. Money is not that important to them. Their time is what's so important, or their family, or whatever it is. So I took a step back and I started to engage with clients, and I spoke to them from a place of their level and their understanding. And when I could understand what was important to them, they then started to trust me because now I got it. So, those buyers that come in and say, I want to buy something and it's got a cash flow and all of that, that's a different mentality. It's the buyer who says, I want the ultra luxury property. I want it to be a property that's going to stay in my family forever. I don't care about what it costs me. Those are the big sales. And getting to that level with a client is a place that is very difficult to do if you can't get out of your own way.
That's so interesting that a client taught you how to talk to millionaires, right? I mean, that's so interesting to me is that, and the coolest part about it is that you weren't too, like, I don't want to say snobby, but you realized it, and you had that aha moment, you know what I mean? And you actually implemented that, which I think a lot of people just don't do, right? And that's why they don't take it to that next level. And I want to speak on mindset and lifestyle and things of that sort, but when you're talking to these people, it looks like we lost you on the video.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. And you talked a little bit about investments, right? So you talk about people saying, "Oh, I want cash flow." That's not where you're at, right? Cash flow doesn't mean a whole lot to you in your market because it doesn't cash flow a whole lot. Let's talk
Right.
about selling a lifestyle.
Right. And that's it too. I have people who will reach out to me and they say, will it cash flow? It's like, no, I don't sell cash flow because I sell lifestyle. And you can buy, I can tell you where to go buy cash flow. You can go to Detroit, you can buy an 8-plex and you can get cash flow on your dollars. And that's a good investment, possibly, or wherever that city is.
Right.
But my question to you is take your beach chair and your beach umbrella and put it in front of that apartment building and tell me how much that helps your life and your investment in your own personal well-being. And it's different. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have that 8-plex, but what I am saying is when you come to a place like Maui or Vail or some of these really beautiful, amazing places, you've got to change your mindset. You've got to change your perspective on what are you really after. And if you can wrap your arms around, hey, I want to put this as part of my portfolio and I want to have, it's going to potentially be a loss to the portfolio, but it's going to be a win to me. And I've got a place where I can now go and enjoy, hang out, ski, surf, golf, whatever that passion is that somebody has. And when you can help a consumer understand that, it takes the barriers out of the way of selling cash flow. And you'll find that it's so much easier to sell them the right property, the property they want, and what fits their real needs and what they're after. Sometimes people come in and say, this is what I got to have. But what they really need is somebody to say, well, you can't have that. And this is what you can have. And this is what it's going to take. And some people leave. And remember earlier I was saying I got 24 inbound referrals. Sometimes those people just aren't buyers because they can't get what they want. But very often they are. Or sometimes I'm sending them somewhere else and saying, look, my market's not the place for you. Maybe you should go to Galveston, Texas. You can actually buy a resort property in Galveston that'll cash flow. And I can hook you up with so-and-so to do that. I'm not it's a spirit of abundance. How can I help somebody? If I can educate them what makes sense, then I do that. Now we can help, there's different properties that will generate more revenue than others. Very often we'll have people say, I want a 2-bedroom. It's like, why? So, well, it'll rent better. Well, in Maui, it won't. In Maui, 1-bedrooms rent better, but nobody knows that. Nobody believes that until you explain it to them. So as an agent, you really want to understand how to ask the questions, because just because a consumer says they want something doesn't mean that's what they really need. It's what they think they want. So a lot of little random information in there, but I think it's our job as agents to be the investigator and understand what our clients are after.
I like that you are okay with saying no. And if you say no to them and you tell them, like, look, this doesn't exist, right? But then you have a solution for them. Look, go here, go there, and you're still getting a referral off something like that. So
right.
That's great. And you keep coming back to mindset. It's all mindset, man. That's great. Go ahead. Were you going to say something?
No. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So you keep speaking on mindset, and I know you're a big reader and you're into podcasts and you have your own podcast. Tell me somebody that you would suggest that maybe has altered or changed your life in a upward trajectory, and somebody that you can share.
So first, I think the author book that changed my career, it was in the 2008-9 downturn. I was personally looking at bankruptcy. The world was upside down as it was if you were in the market then. And I stumbled onto this CD, book on tape, because I don't read very well. I just listen. And it was a book called The Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes. And I just think that the basic premise he only wrote one book, he passed away. But the basic premise of his book and his concepts were exceptional. I put it in practice. I redeployed it in the way that made sense for me. And it literally took me from being about $1.5 million in debt to now financially really comfortable. And that was the first start. There's another book that I love. It's called Hug Your Customers. He's a guy who sells suits in New York City. So it's not all about real estate. It's about how you treat your customers and that customer experience. And that was great. And I apologize, I can't remember the name, but it's Hug Your Customers. And it was the original one, not the one for real estate. And then the third book that I would highly recommend, it changed my life in a personal way, was The Miracle Morning.
There you go.
And that book, for me, I was about 215 pounds. I was a fat slob. I was just a mess. And Bill Pipes, who was doing a presentation for the Tom Ferry organization on stage, said, if you want to change your life, you need to get this book. Well, ironically, somebody else did a presentation a month earlier, and I downloaded the book, but I never listened to it because he didn't have the power that Bill Pipes did. And Bill said it in a way with a lot of expletives. And I was in California. I got on the plane that night, and I downloaded the book. I listened to it the next morning. I started my regimen of exercise and walking. I lost 40 pounds. Wow. Reinvented myself. And it was so truly one of the most amazing opportunities that I had. So I would encourage somebody, if they're feeling like shit and they know it's their own fault, get that book. I've already given that advice to about a dozen people, and at least 8 of them have come to me after 4 months and said, thank you. So it really makes a difference. Anyway, and I don't get anything from these guys, although maybe I should.
You should. You need to start getting a plug, man.
And then for podcasts, which is what I'm grinding on now, I love Donald Miller, which is he did the Story brand. I think he does a great job. I love the walkthrough with Matt McGee, and that's from Homelight. He does a really nice podcast. I enjoy listening to him. And Tom Ferry does a lot of great stuff too. So there's a lot of choices. You know, I can give you another 10, but that'll be for the next show.
Amazing.
Oh, and wait a second. And my podcast.
And your podcast, what's it called? Selling the Dream? Yeah, go download
Selling
that.
The Dream.
Go download that.
That's
I watched it. I watched the one with Tom Ferry. Good episode.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing. So you and you also are a Tom Ferry coach, correct?
I'm not a coach. I'm just a student. Right now they've talked to me about it. It's just not, I'm running my own company. I've got a lot of stuff going on. So I'm running 50 agents here in Maui, or not running, working with and helping 50 agents here in Maui. So my time is pretty limited. Plus I'm a full-time realtor.
Real estate. We get it.
You know, a lot of deals. So keeps me busy.
That's amazing, man. Well, I definitely like to give you an opportunity to tell everybody a little bit more about yourself, how they can get a hold of you if they would like to send some people your way or even buy a place in Maui. And even if there's somebody that is a resort market agent that would like to connect with you, how can they get a hold of you?
So sorry about that. We lost the video again. I'm on my iPhone, and I apologize.
No.
So the best way for somebody to get a hold of me is Google me. I'm everywhere online, Tom Tezak. You can call me, 808-280-2055. My number's getting cut off there. And I just love to talk to people. So if you've got a question, you want to bust into a resort market, you're thinking about moving into a resort market, or you're in a resort market, jump onto Facebook if you're there and join that group, Resort Second Home Agents, and connect there. I would love to be a resource. I've got a bunch of people that have followed me on my podcast and will reach out and call me. And it's like I'm nobody special, man. I'm just an agent doing my thing, trying to build a network. And so I've gotten to be friends with a bunch of my people who have tuned into my podcast, and we chat regularly. And I love that. I love the spirit of abundance and being able to help people. I think that the resort real estate market is a different beast. It's almost identical to the traditional market. It's that 10% of difference that makes the difference between an agent being a rock star and just an agent or failing. And I think I had shared with you earlier, Ronnie, that I've seen, unfortunately, way too many agents that have come into my market that were great agents somewhere else and didn't understand how to embrace the little bit of differences, the little bit of change in marketing, and the little different attitude that you have to have and how you deal with the clients and the customers to be successful. So I'd love to be a resource for anybody that I can. And if somebody has buyers, if they take the opportunity to ask their clients, hey, have you been thinking about buying or selling a second home? And it happens to be Maui, I'd love to be that resource for them as well. But we can help you with agents all across the country. I have a network. If you're looking for an agent somewhere, just call me. I don't want anything out of it. I'll just point you in the right direction because I have some of the top agents in the world in my Rolodex. That's an old word. I don't know if anybody knows what a Rolodex
What's
is
a
anymore.
Rolodex?
What's a Rolodex? In my network of thousands of agents that I only want to be connected and working with agents that are full-time professionals that give ultimate customer service and are not worried about getting paid, but are worrying about doing a good job. So I can hook you up with tons of people all over the world. And again, just to be a resource more than anything. So that's my shtick.
Tom, my friend, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I hope to have you on again soon, my friend.
I'd love to.
You
Thanks,
enjoy,
Ronnie.
bud.
Take care. And I love what you're doing here. All right.
Yes, brother. Yes, Scott.